Let's turn to India now, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is riding the podcast wave. The first one came out in January, the second one yesterday. Prime Minister Modi sat down with American podcaster Lex Fridman. He discussed life, religion, politics and history. We are bringing you the top 6 highlights. Number 1, Modi says Trump is more prepared this time. He says Trump stands for America first and he stands for India first, which is why both leaders get along so well.
I have observed President Trump both during his first term and now in his second run. This time, he seems far more prepared than before. He has a clear roadmap in his mind, with well-defined steps, each one designed to lead him toward his goals.
Modi also praised Trump for his courage, especially after the assassination attempts last year. Next is highlight number 2. Prime Minister Modi wants a reset with China. He pointed to both historical and contemporary equations.
If we look back centuries, there's no real history of conflict between us. Of course, differences are natural, but our focus is to ensure that these differences don't turn into disputes. Since the 21st century is Asia's century, we want India and China to compete in a healthy and natural way.
That's a clear commitment from Modi. He wants a healthy relationship with China. It also shows how the tone has softened. Just last year, India was slamming China for violating agreements and renaming sites, but now the approach is more positive. Even China's foreign ministry has noticed this. They have welcomed Prime Minister Modi's remarks. Next is highlight number 3. Prime Minister Modi is hopeful of a peace deal in Ukraine. He says he told Putin that this is not the time for war. And he told Zelensky the resolution will only come at the talking table. Modi is basically telling Ukraine to wake up and smell the coffee.
Regardless of how many people stand with you in the world, there will never be a resolution on the battlefield. Ukraine may hold countless discussions with their allies, but it will bear no fruit.
A pretty clear message to Zelensky here. Don't think your allies will help you out. Sit down with President Putin and talk things out. The Prime Minister also referred to Trump's change in position. He says it creates an opportunity for meaningful and productive talks. Highlight number 4, criticism of global institutions.
Organizations like the United Nations came into being after the First World War. But they failed to evolve with the times. And this inability to adapt has sparked a global debate on their relevance.
The timing of this criticism is key. Political bodies like the United Nations have failed to stop conflicts. Trade bodies like the World Trade Organization have failed to stop tariff wars. So their relevance is indeed under question. It is also why India is pushing for reforms. And next is highlight number 5, Pakistan and terrorism. Prime Minister Modi recalled his outreach in 2014 when he first took office. He invited then Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to his swearing-in ceremony in 2014, but the warmth was not reciprocated. Modi says terrorism is deeply rooted in Pakistan, but he also said the people of Pakistan yearn for peace, that they are weary of the bloodshed. Highlight number 6 is artificial intelligence. We have been debating the question of whether AI can replace us. The Indian Prime Minister says it cannot.
I firmly believe that no technology can ever replace the boundless creativity and imagination of the human mind. Now look, humans have an innate ability to care for each other. The natural tendency to be concerned about one another. Now, can someone tell me, is AI capable of this?
A strong vote for human creativity, which brings us to the final highlight, Elon Musk and Doge. Every country is now debating the idea of cost-cutting. Indian Prime Minister Modi is also in favor of it. He says the Doge mission makes him happy. He also drew parallels to India, things like ghost names in a pension scheme or benefits being given to people who were not eligible for them, like a widow pension before marriage. So put together, this conversation was around 3 hours and 17 minutes. It was basically a window to Prime Minister Modi's worldview about diplomacy, about conflict resolution, about global institutions and about the changing world order. The PM rarely goes into such detail about these issues, but this time he did. And in the process, he gave a glimpse into Modi, the statesman. He's completed almost 11 years in office. He's one of the most experienced world leaders going around, and clearly he's keen to take up that extra responsibility. We've seen Modi the politician and Modi the Prime Minister. This time we saw Modi the statesman.
Firstpost brings you the Ideas Pod at the Raisina Dialogue 2025, the largest gathering of global policymakers, thought leaders, and innovators, now on the fastest growing international news platform. Big ideas, big debates, big impact. Only at the Ideas Pod.
Raisina Hill.
Firstpost gives you front row access to the conversations that matter most. The Ideas Pod. Raisina Dialogue 2025 on Firstpost. From March 17th to March 19th.